Hi, I'm John Andrus, the Menopause Guru, and tonight is the third in my series of summer hangouts, and tonight's topic is sleep. Insomnia, not sleeping well, being tired, it just seems to go with the territory. Actually, if you think about it, it goes with the territory of being women, because we go through that whole thing when we're much younger, or maybe some of us not so much younger, when we have our children. But when we have little ones and we get up in the middle of the night to feed them, we get that oxytocin boost from holding them, especially if we're nursing them. It's really a boost to our system, which allows us to kind of mellow out. But when we hit menopause, things happen. And many of us don't sleep well. So tonight, I want to talk to you a little bit about what not sleeping means, how you can use not sleeping to help you determine what's going on, and also to talk about what you can do about it. So tonight I've got a little bit of a presentation. I will try and remember to send the slides out this time. I think I didn't send them the last time, but I will send them out. The information here comes from the information that's on my website about sleeping. If you scroll down to the bottom on the home page, you'll see there's a box on Getting Better Sleep. Click on that. It'll take you to several articles. And tonight, we're just going to look at a little bit of this stuff because there's a lot here, a lot more we could talk about. I'm thinking that this is probably going to be the book that I write. After the Hot Flashes book, Chill Out, comes out in just a few weeks. And I just got the notification that I Just Want to Be Me Again is shipping in paperback now, so look for that on Amazon. You can get a copy. If you want a signed copy from me, let me know and I can do that for you. So let's talk about sleeping. Oops. Here we go. So how to sleep better. That's our topic for tonight. So here's a questionnaire, and here's the thing that I want you to do as you watch this. I want you to write down the number of the statements that speak to you, that say, this is me, this is how I don't sleep. And you might find that some nights you sleep well, with different ones of these are the problem. Just which ones are affecting you right now is the issue that we're going to get to. So number one, this is you, write down a number one. I fall asleep fine, but I wake up thinking, worrying, fretting about all the possible bad things that could happen, and I can't fall back to sleep. So this is the person who falls asleep, wakes up 3 or 4 hours later, and their mind starts going. Sometimes it's not just the bad things. Sometimes it's not just worrying and fretting. Sometimes it's, I'm thinking about the things that I need to do. I'm writing my sermon for next week. I'm writing that brief that needs to go in, whatever that is. So waking up in the middle of the night, the mind starts going and you can't fall back to sleep. Second one, I sleep okay, or I toss and turn restlessly, but I wake up wired and tired, ready to go, but still exhausted. So you're sleeping all night, maybe even 8 or 10 hours, but you wake up ready to go, but you're still exhausted. That's number two. Third one, I sleep plenty, even too much for a normal person, but I'm really tired when I get out of bed. Crashing fatigue would be an accurate description of how I feel. In crashing fatigue, as opposed to wired and tired, you don't get up. You drag yourself out of bed. You pour that first cup of coffee, the second cup of coffee, the third cup of coffee, the fourth cup of coffee, and you still don't feel ready to go. So crashing fatigue. Number 4, I wake up often at night due to night sweats. I'm really hot. My hair's on fire. or weird, vivid dreams. Now some people do have oddball dreams all the time, but these feel very vivid and really out of the ordinary. So that's number 4, hot flashes or weird, vivid dreams. Number 5, I sleep okay, but I don't seem to have any stamina. As soon as I start a workout, I'm wiped out, and busy days are a killer for me. Maybe you're not even working out now because you just can't do it. So that's number 5. Number 6, I just can't seem to fall asleep. I feel like I'm staying up later and later at night. So this is the person who's just not ready to go to bed. Number 7, I go to sleep just fine, but I wake up a couple of hours later and I'm awake. I'm not really fretting. It's just isn't the same as worrying or fretting, but I just can't fall back to sleep. Number 8, I sleep okay, but if I eat a sandwich or a pasta or a high-carb meal for lunch, I just crash in the afternoon. Same thing at dinner. I barely get the kitchen cleaned up. Maybe I even don't before I'm in bed. And finally, the last one, number 9, my sleep cycle seems turned around. I don't sleep well at night, but I could go to sleep in the morning and sleep all day. And this is not a person, this is not you if you are a nighttime worker and you have to do this because your job demands it. But somehow your sleep clock has gotten reprogrammed. So let's talk about what each of these mean, or each group of these mean. Let's talk about what these tell you. So number 1, number 2, and number 9, falling asleep and waking up worrying and fretting, or sleeping okay, but waking up wired and tired. And number 9, your sleep cycle turned around. Those are all signs of high cortisol or progesterone imbalances. I'm sorry, not of estrogen or progesterone, but of a high cortisol. So high cortisol can be caused by the changes in estrogen, but it's not the same thing. It's because even though estrogen may have caused it, the changes in estrogen may have caused it, the problem is actually the high cortisol is keeping you up. Cortisol being that stress hormone that's jacking up your stress, making it hard for you to sleep. It jacks up the anxiety, it jacks up the go get 'em. I got to do something, I got to move. And it also turns around that sleep cycle. It works with melatonin to actually have your sleep cycle work correctly. And sometimes if it's off, then your sleep cycle is off. So those are the high cortisol ones. Crashing fatigue. Number 3, crashing fatigue. You sleep plenty, but you just can't get going. This can be a sign of either low cortisol or hypothyroidism. Low cortisol, or adrenal fatigue as it's sometimes called, is the fact that you've been stressed for so long and so high that you just crash. And your adrenals aren't capable of keeping up with the cortisol you need, so you don't have the cortisol to get you going in the morning. Hypothyroidism comes from your thyroid gland, and if it's low, it can be caused by damage to the thyroid gland, inability to use thyroid hormones in your body, yo-yo dieting, which resets your metabolism to a lower level. And there are other symptoms available, and if you look on my website for symptoms, though you can look at the other symptoms of low adrenals and hypothyroidism to tell the difference. Number 4, waking at night due to night sweats or vivid dreams. Those are signs of low estrogen, and we talked about that last week. So if you didn't get a hold of that recording and want it, just send me an email and Jeanne@menopause.guru, JEANNE, and let me know, and I'll be glad to send it out to you. But the night sweats, the hot flashes at night, weird vivid dreams are usually signs of low estrogen. Number 5, no stamina. As soon as you start a workout, you're wiped out, busy days, you don't have the energy to get it done, is low testosterone. And it shows up when you want your body to do the work, and you just seem to be done so much sooner. You don't have the stamina. Number 6, can't fall asleep at night, is a symptom of low progesterone. And it's just, you just tend to get this not falling asleep. Low progesterone helps the melatonin work and tell you that it is time to go to bed. Number 7 is I go to sleep just fine, but wake up a couple hours later and you're awake. That's, again, a low estrogen symptom, and it occurs in the middle of the night. You're just awake, and you can get worried. You can make yourself worry if you think about it, but you're just awake. And finally, 8, the crashing because of the pasta or high-carb meals. That's just a classic sign of insulin resistance, where your insulin is not moving your blood sugar into your muscles, and so it's trying to store fat, and it's staying high. And that's when actually a walk after lunch or after dinner would really help out. So these can be found on Why You Can't Sleep. So there's the link for that one. So let's talk about ways that can make sleep better. In the first and second books, I talk about eating and exercising for those particular hormone imbalances. Lighten Up's got a lot of stuff on that. And if you want more, please get in touch with me. That's what I'm here for. But this can help you determine what it is that's getting in your way, and then you can diet better for it if you're trying to lose weight or just trying to be more healthy. And it can also make a big difference in the way you sleep. So, clean sleep. People talk about clean sleep, and it's really, part of it is that we have changed around our lives so much with electronics and electric light bulbs and all these things, that sleeping has gotten a little difficult for us. So these are things that you can do to help get you to sleep in the beginning at nighttime. And if you want to go to sleep earlier, first thing is to have a bedtime routine. Have a way of telling your body that it's time to go to sleep. And this is assuming that we've kind of started getting some of those hormone imbalances out of the way. But these things help no matter what. So get a bedtime routine. You get up, you turn off the TV, or you leave your husband watching the TV. You go in, maybe you take a soothing bath, Epsom salt soak, bath with scented candles and essential oils. Read for a few minutes. This is a really good time for devotional or inspirational reading, because usually those things are very short. And so they just take a few minutes of your time and help you get into that framework of being ready to go to sleep. Making your bedroom cool. Okay, making the bedroom a special place. That means keep reserving your bed for sleeping and sex. Now, for me, if I couldn't read before I went to bed, I probably would never get to sleep, or very, very seldom would I get to sleep, because I've been reading in bed since I could read, which was somewhere around the age of 5. And so reading in bed just is part of that bedtime routine for me. But if you haven't done that, then maybe find a special place in your house or a special seat, and just make that part of your ritual. Read your reading there and then go to bed. The other thing that you can do in your bed, sex. We'll probably talk about sex next week. I'm looking forward to having a special guest next week to talk with us about that. If you're not doing that right now, okay, we make it just for sleep then. So you want your bedroom to be a special, relaxing place. It's not, if you can move your office out of it, if you have a home office in your bedroom, if you've got your pets sleeping all over you and they're making you crazy, try and give them their own special place if that's going to work for them. Don't let things in your life intrude on your sleeping space. The third one, give over your worries. Hugely important. Couple of things to do here. Worrying, first of all, let's define worrying. Worrying is thinking about something or concentrating on something without being able to do something about it. Now, if you're going to sleep, there is nothing you're going to be able to do about anything because you're going to be asleep for the next, hopefully, 6 to 8 hours. So here's my best recommendation. Put a pad and a pen next to your bed. Get a small flashlight with a red light, not a blue light, but a red light, or a very warm yellow or orange light. If you start worrying about something you've forgotten, oh, I forgot to get eggs at the store, or oh my gosh, I forgot to pay that bill, or oh no, I've got to do this, or you're thinking about the perfect line for your whatever it is, your report or whatever, your book or whatever you're doing. You thought about the perfect way of dealing with that. Well, if you're doing that at night, chances are you're worrying about remembering that. So you're trying to drill it into your head. Instead, take that pen, take that little tiny flashlight, and I mean tiny, just a little laser light almost, and write down whatever it is that's on your mind and put it down. And write just enough, remind yourself, thank yourself for putting that information out there, saying, thank you, I appreciate your giving me this information, and I will be sure to remember it in the morning. Boom, it's done. Second thing, gratitude. It's a great time to do your gratitude practice. I want to just check one thing while we're here. I want to make sure we are recording. Yes, we are. Good. So I'm going to go back to sharing the screen. So this is a great time for your gratitude list, for remembering the things that you are grateful for in your life, things that are going right, things that are special. I always tell people, start with the easiest things. Just if you're grateful you have a bed, you're grateful that you have a roof over your head, you're grateful that you have this person next to you if you do, and if you don't, that you have your cat or your dog or your whatever it is that is in your life. Just start being grateful for every little piece of it. Pretty soon those worries will go away. The fourth one, ditch the electronics. Now, I am a computer addict and I read on a Kindle all the time, but there's something that's going on, and we need to address it. And that is that our electronics give off blue light. And blue light tells our bodies that it's time to be awake. What's wrong with this picture? There are applications you can get for your phone, I believe for your Kindle, and for your computer, and maybe even for your TV, that will change that light to a more yellow or red light. And you can do that at dusk, and that keeps your body, tells your body that it's okay, that it's getting dark, it's sleepy time. So if you can't ditch the electronics, at least turn them to a red light. Keep anything that's a blue light in your sleeping environment, turn it off. Make it go away. One of the things that makes me crazy is my husband watches TV in bed sometimes. It just makes me nuts. So there's more detail on all of this stuff at Fix Your Sleep on my website. Let's talk about getting back to sleep. This is really, really, really important because hot flashes often wake us up. If you're drinking water, That can wake you up. You might have to go to the bathroom. You just may sleep more restlessly. And if you're high cortisol, you're going to wake up and the fretting might just start. So when I say don't wake up, I'm being a little facetious there. I'm joking a little bit. But here's the thing. If you do some of the rest of the stuff, you can keep yourself from getting all the way up to awake. I get up, I go to the bathroom, I get back in the bed, and I rarely remember actually having done it. I can remember it if I think about it, but I'm not even awake long enough to really know that I've just done that. So for having to get up in the middle of the night, the Hot Flash book, Chill Out, has got a lot of stuff on this. It's also got a lot of stuff on how to make it really easy to clean up and not get fully awake when you have a bad hot flash at night. So the other thing about not waking up is not using alcohol or artificial sleep aids to go to sleep. The problem with them is that when you wake up, when they wear off, you wake up, and that's often in the middle of the night. You don't want to do that. Setting your intention. This is the power of positive thinking, the power of your mind. Setting your intention to not to go back to sleep if you have to wake up. I know that sounds simple. I know it sounds dumb. It works. And what do you have to lose? So when you go to sleep, just simply tell your mind that if you have to wake up, if you have to go to the bathroom, if you have to let the cat out, whatever it is, just set your intention to go right back to sleep. Hello, it may not work the first few times, but if you just keep setting those intentions and saying, it's okay if I didn't do it that well yesterday, but tonight is going to be, I'm setting the intention again that if I wake up, I'm going to go right back to sleep. Keeping a notepad next to your bed. This is huge. It's the same thing as going to sleep. If you keep that notepad next to your bed, then you can put down those things that you're worried about, those things that you think are brilliant, those things that you really can't afford to forget. Just write them down. Again, use a small flashlight with a reddish or a yellowish tinge to it, not a blue light, because that will help you stay in that almost a sleep state. And by the way, I've done this for years, and nothing I ever write down in the middle of the night is that brilliant. Nothing would have needed me to actually get up and do something about it. So use it to just note down those ideas. The last one on the list is called 4-7-8 breathing, and this is really pretty cool. When you're doing this, you'll breathe in for 4 counts and breathing in through your nose and taking it all the way down deep into your lungs. You'll hold for 7 counts, and then you'll exhale again through your nose for 8 counts. Now, the first couple of breaths, if you've been breathing really shallow, you may find yourself not able to breathe that deeply. So you breathe in for 4 counts, and then you can only hold for 4 counts, and then you can only exhale for 3 counts before you need to start breathing again. If you keep doing it, you will slow it down until you can do the full 4-7-8. And if you just keep concentrating and coming back to that count, couple of things that this does. It's really pretty cool. First thing is, it's getting you to breathe deeper and slower. So it's slowing your heart rate down. It's lowering your blood pressure. It's actually helping with hot flashes if you're having one. And it just allows you to just relax. So it's very, very relaxing. The second thing is by concentrating on that count in your brain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, etc., etc. And going through that whole cycle, it gives your brain something to do. And that's really, really key. Having your brain have something to do that's totally boring. So the 4-7-8 breathing is super, super effective. And I highly recommend it for people. Okay, a couple other things. Practice. Don't assume that this is going to fix itself in 1 day or 2 days. Sometimes you have to go through all of these things over and over and over again until they start working. Just don't get discouraged. Let it go through and actually change things around and be better each time. So practicing, using them over and over and not getting discouraged is huge. And the last thing I want to talk about is not tossing and turning in bed. And this goes back to what I said on the last slide about not being not using your bed for anything other than sleep and sex and reading to go to bed. Go to sleep. But if you're going to toss and turn in your bed, all you're doing is training yourself to toss and turn in your bed. So I say get up, go down to that comfortable, cozy chair that you've got somewhere, turn on a low light. If you need to read something, I can give you a recommendation of some great statistics books that I promise I have never read more than the first page of. It's something really boring. Do not read the thriller. Do not read the romance novel you're hooked on right now. Read something that's not going to take a whole lot of attention. Read for a few minutes. Some people talk about chamomile tea or warm milk. Warm milk does have some stuff in it too that will help you relax and go back to sleep. For some people, the dairy is just not an option. So those are some ideas on getting back to sleep. When you get sleepy again, go back upstairs or go back to your bedroom. Not necessarily upstairs, mine is. And go back to that 4-7-8 breathing and see if that helps them. So there's more stuff on the Back to Sleep page. And let's talk about the power of a nap. This is sort of what happens when all else fails. This is, if you haven't been sleeping and you're in the middle of the day and you're just wiped out, this is what I say is the best solution for that. It's not a long-term solution, but this can really help you get through the day if you've had a bad few nights. First of all, you want a dark, quiet place. You want it as close to and cool. You want to set your alarm for 10 to that should read 20 to 30 minutes actually. So you only want to take a 20 to 30 minute nap. And the reason is that this allows you to stay in the first cycle of your sleep cycle, and it keeps you from dropping down into that really deep sleep. Because if you wake up from that really deep sleep, then you're groggy. When I say get permission, you need to give yourself permission, and anyone else who has control of your time needs to give you permission. But most of all, you need to give yourself permission. You need to not think of yourself as lazy or ridiculous for wanting to take a nap. So give yourself permission, get permission from your boss if you need to, and then just let go. And let that 20 to 30 minutes be all you need. You really will be amazed at the difference in your energy level if you use this kind of napping situation. So we're here for questions, and I'm going to stop the screen sharing. And I'm going to unmute our person here. Hi, how are you? Questions about sleeping in particular?
No, I actually can go to sleep. It's generally like around 3, but I kind of do what you say. I do my best to, kind of talk to myself and say, okay, If I wake up at 5, I'm good with that. It's just I don't want to be up at 3.
Yeah. And usually you can go back you can use that 4-7-8 technique works really well. And So does the intention setting. So if you're coming in and saying, I'm just going to chill out and go to sleep, and I'm going to stay asleep, or I have to wake up, I'll wake up and I'll go right back to sleep. And then if you do and use that 4-7-8 breathing, it's really, I find that really, really, really effective.
Well, it sounds like, you know, how with athleticism, it's like muscle memory. So it's kind of like you train your brain and your body, kind of.
Exactly. Yeah. Sleeping is a habit, and that's why before you got on, I was talking a little bit about our routines at night. So setting yourself up for a routine that makes sense to you, of calming down and taking yourself down a level. The one thing I didn't actually include in this, I actually talk to people about using some of the brain entrainment music that's out there, and you can get delta sleep stuff, and that's really fabulous. But you have to either be able to sleep with earbuds in, or wake up, take them out, and put them aside and not have that disturb you.
Oh, I see. Are you saying for people who are sensitive with noise?
No, actually, the reason is it's if you use the delta wave ones, what they actually do is there's a beat in the back of those that kind of your brain wants to sync with it, so it's slowed down to the root until it comes into a delta wave, because your brain has several levels of awareness, and the brain waves in those levels of awareness are different. So if you slow it down to match that delta wave, then you've got a really, really good chance of falling right asleep. So it's sort of like meditation.
Yeah. I know that every female is different. I don't have a problem with going to sleep. Generally, it's just like around 3 a.m. that, you know, my body starts wanting to get up. And so, like I said, once I get back to work, I'm okay with being up at 5:30, because then that gives me morning time to have me time before my child and husband, everybody else needs me.
That is so true. That is so true. And here, for me, that's the only time I can actually get out and walk or run.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's wild.
Yeah, if I'm going to exercise, if I'm going to meditate, read, whatever, have thoughts with nobody to interrupt me, that's the time.
Yeah. Great. Any other questions I can help you with tonight?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. We got a small. You're the only one on tonight, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and the only reason I was able to, I was looking at my email because my mother's visiting, and my husband bought a ticket for her to fly back, and for a couple of weeks, so I'm going through the email because I sent it to you, and I'm looking, and then all of a sudden I saw yours. I just keep missing the time. The one that I really wanted to listen in on is the weight gain.
Did you get an email with that, or should I send it to? I can send it to you.
Okay, I would love that. Yeah. Okay. In terms of sleep, I'm a pretty good sleeper, but other than, you know, unless of course there's stress, and you know, and that's what's going to happen when I get back to work. You know, that first month of August is just, you know, there's a lot going on, and so it's like my life is in a room with 100-something kids that I see throughout my day. And, you know, when you were saying earlier about, what did you say, kind of bring yourself down a notch. I know you said that before bed, but I think for me, I think I'm a naturally excitable person. I get, you know, and I used to teach, you know, when I was younger, but I just can't keep doing that. I'm finding I have to learn how to give a good, you know, lecture, but I don't need to get all like woo, and you know, even though, you know, and the kids want to be entertained. You know, this is entertainment central. Kids, if you don't entertain them, they won't listen. But there's some dance that I'm trying to figure out for myself when I teach, because they will suck me dry. I'll come home and I'm absolutely just wasted. I have nothing to give my child. I go right to bed sometimes. I'm just, so I don't have a problem thinking, but it's that whole managing your energy, those of us who perform. I say teaching is performing.
You're right. Teaching is performing. And there's a lot you can do with managing your energy. One of the things that I've been doing lately is working with people around boundaries and energy management. And it's come since I started working with Reiki. And that's been
I love that, yeah.
Yeah, so Olivia, I'm actually going to stop the recording, and if you'll just hang on for just a second.
Sure.
Okay.